Okay, we're doing this. What is this? It is the 9,000 subscriber special. Now, oh my gosh, I did get off of work recently and I'm kind of tired, so. Oh, oof, loosening up a little bit. Now, deuces, my guy. Now, this is where things get kind of interesting. I bet you're wondering what exactly is this abomination. Well, this is the only other easy Ocha ship I will ever do. Um, it's the canon ship. I do enjoy it. I really do. And a lot of people saying we don't like Uraraka. Well, that's kind of because of what ifers do, because we kind of do her dirty in what ifs a lot, where in Cheated we make it seem like she'll do horrible things that she would actually not do to our boy Deku. We all know this. Actually, we know that in canon she would actually probably, if not die, for our boy Izuku, and well, that's a good thing. Now, I won't just let's just get on with this. I feel like it's easier to just explain how the story will go. Now, here's where things get kind of different. You see, in this timeline, before Black Zetsu could fully stab into Madara, Madara's Limbo clone had grabbed onto his hand and then stabbed Zetsu, and then the other four appeared stabbing Zetsu. Madara would turn around as he's saying, "Nice try, but I know about Kaguya." As he then stabs Zetsu, absorbs Zetsu's power, and all of the white Zetsu by extension. Now, the same thing that would happen here is he absorbs everything. He manages to beat Sasuke and Naruto because he knows that Sasuke could not defeat him one-on-one, so he went on. Shh, ignore it. That's a secret. Now, that's an interesting one. Where was I going with this? My bad. I'm sorry. That text kind of distracted me for a second. As Naruto, not Naruto. No, yeah, actually, Naruto would see Sasuke die before him. Madara would stab him, absorb the power, gain more strength, kill everyone else, cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, and, well, he does one thing that, well, was weird. He brings back someone from the dead, his own Endo Tensei, but thanks to his Sage Mode ability, it's much, much stronger. Now, who'd he bring back? He brings back Hashirama's twin sister, Rosalia. Rosalia Senju, the only other known wood style user. Granted, she was never as powerful as her brother, but she was there. And because she was there, she had won Madara's heart. Of course, Tobirama had not approved. Oops, that was louder than I thought it'd be. Turning that down. And there we go. It is Beat It by Little Peep and Nebard. I know Little Peep's dead, so I realize this is just one of those old recordings that they had and they're releasing it now for money, but it's Little Peep. I love Little Peep. Excuse me. Now, she would look at Madara, be surprised at his new look. He would feel as if, she's disgusted with him. But then she jumps in his arms as she knows they can now finally be together. I do love that series. So, pausing. No. Let me at least get to the part where they go to Deku. I'm going to set it up on my Xbox. But, in the meantime, as you know now, they are able to allow humans to regrow. Now, not every human. Now, even though every human was casted in the Infinite Tsukuyomi, Madara would tweak it to erase everyone's memories of Ninshu, ninjutsu, everything. He would kill the Kages, steal all the chakra. Only civilians with low levels amount of power existed in the world. Now we age on thousands of years as we are now born with Izuku Midoriya. He's 4 years old when he's deemed quirkless. Inko saying, okay, as this song is actually pretty good. Now, this is what Inko does. She looks at Izuku and she asks him, Izuku, if you could be a hero with power, what would you do with it? What kind of hero would you be? Izuku would not hesitate to say he would be a hero like All Might, who can save everyone. He wants to bring peace to the world. As she smiles, she looks at Izuku as she tells him, come on, we're going on a trip. But what about school? It's fine, I'm pulling you out for the last month. Okay. As Izuku would disappear from school for 1 month. Now, what happens during this month is the remnants of the whole chakra fruit tree, the white Zetsu, Madara's power, all got pushed into one little fruit. Now, this fruit is a rare red peach that's swirled with unique patterns. There are these intricate designs and ripples all throughout. As one thing that they noticed, or not Naruto, but Izuku saw it. The fruit glowed and shot towards his head instantly, as he's just like, what the? But I thought I didn't have a quirk. You don't. Wait, what? Izuku, when you were born, we knew that this would be yours. What do you mean? The fruit actually bloomed when you were born. It would only be a matter of time before you eat it. It would never go rotten or spoiled, and none of us would be able to bear a bite of it. The power that it possesses is too strong. It would kill us. But not you. Not me. Why? They would then explain how Madara Uchiha and Rosalia Senju had, done the actual thing before the quirks, and how quirks are actually the mutation of chakra evolving from, body to body. And, Geki Genkai that just mutates over time, dormant genes that just started mutating and mutating. Molotov cocktail of DNA that kind of got jumbled up everywhere. Now, you are the last of the direct descendants of this rare connection. You are, in a sense, the 1000th great grandson of Madara and Rosalia. Really? And if I eat the fruit, what happens? You would gain Madara's power. Really? What about the Rosalia one? She's to be reincarnated into this world. Just like you were. Huh? That's why the fruit bloomed. Madara proclaimed that he would be reincarnated, but his reincarnation is his own soul replenished, and it will be before the time where peace is endangered, and someone would need to come in and show the true power that would be the Uchihas, the Senjus, combined into one. You are, in a sense, Madara. We don't know who Rosalia is, but you would know soon. Really? How? Once you eat the fruit, Rosalia's quirk would activate. Wait, what? How? She would have a unique double. What do you mean? She would be able to manipulate plants, wood, and whatever other second ability her natural vessel would have. Huh. What about me? Well, Madara took a lot of power with him. Rosalia wasn't as strong as him at the end of their lives, but before Madara did what he did, they were evenly part, so she should be relatively strong still. Now, Oliver Tree, I love it. He's a good singer. As Izuku looks at his mom, they see, all these people, all these monks who bow down to Izuku. As they say, they are here to serve Lord Madara, and he is Lord Madara's reincarnation, so we now serve Lord Izuku. As Izuku smiles, but he asks his mom, is he okay for him to eat it now? Up to you, Izuku. Well, your body might not be able to fully adapt to the power, and it'll take much longer for you to understand it, but if you train your body in one way, you'll have less time to use your power. You have an untrained body, so you would have to be more careful with your power. Regardless, there's gonna be some issues. Izuku would then decide to train his body. We would do a 6-year time skip. Izuku is now 10 years old when he eats the fruit. He eats the fruit and he gains the power of Madara Otsutsuki, or Madara Uchiha. His hair has these black and white marks throughout there. It looks kind of cool but weird, as green is still the dominant color of his hair. But something else happens. Izuku could experience intense emotions and thus bring out the Renegon, or the Sharingan. Mangekyo or Eternal Mangekyo? Yes. Oh damn. What are the abilities? Sharingan abilities. Wait, what? He is the Uchiha of the Uchihas. So, and technically you gotta remember, at one point Madara did yank out Kamui, so I'm gonna just give him Kamui. But to nerf him, sure, why not? I won't give him Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, or Kagutsuchi, but he does have Renegon abilities. So, Renegon abilities, Susanoo, Kamui. I feel like that is pretty decent for our boy Izuku. Plus, the whole being an Uchiha and then the Otsutsuki Sage mode part. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Izuku still got his power on his own. As now, I will have to change this. Now, this is where things get kind of different. I'm going to make where Izuku, when he re-meets Bakugo, and Bakugo tries to talk shit to him. I thought I swept away. Izuku would straight up tell him to leave him alone. He wants absolutely nothing to do with such a disgusting waste of space of a human being like Bakugo Katsuki. He finds him to be so annoying that when Izuku raised up his left hand, all he said was almighty push, sending Bakugo flying towards the classroom, slamming into the wall, leaving a decent dent into it. Not breaking it, but denting it, as Bakugo would cough of, some spit and puke a little bit. The trauma was kind of intense, but everyone was just in awe as then they look at Izuku's eyes as they see the purple ripple pattern of the Renegon. No one knows what it is, but Izuku saying, "You do not stand a chance against me, Bakugo. Understand this. You can try to be the number one hero, but just like right now, I will keep you at bay from that title. There's only one person who's willing to work the effort, to put in the hours, to break their bones and push beyond their limits. to reach the title of #1 hero. Not only will I surpass All Might in strength, I will dwarf All Might in strength. I will make it where All Might would look like a rookie compared to me. As Izuku, he looks at Bakugo, he lifts up his right hand, as then he's saying, Universal Pull, as Bakugo would get pulled towards him. Now Bakugo's trying to throw explosions to keep his, away from him, but he's still getting pulled. Eventually, when Izuku does grab onto him, Bakugo feels his power being siphoned as he's absorbing his energy. Izuku then would morph his hand using the robotic path of pain, so you know what's coming up, as he then, rather than create a chakra cannon barrel, he decides to just use his two hands, well, not two hands, but two fingers, morphing them into a more or less electric shotgun. He would point out his hand and then shoot out voltage hold up. I'm gonna go with 500,000 volts, which is 10 times stronger than the police issued taser. So yeah, this is gonna hurt Bakugo as Bakugo gets electrified and shot back, as everyone's just in awe at Izuku, as he then looks at everyone. Make sure you become aware of this. I'm not your punching bag, and under no circumstance do I ever want to be friends with people like you. You artificial super assholes. I honestly could run butt naked into a minefield with cactus miles wide and long, and it would still be less amounts of pricks than you guys are. As everyone's just looking at Izuku, they say nothing. Now, this is where things get kind of interesting. He would be, called in by the principal. Principal would scold him, yada yada yada. But this is where things get interesting. Izuku would point out that the principal does absolutely nothing to help Izuku, and that he too can go fuck himself. As he's saying, you can't say that. As Izuku would actually tell him, yeah, no, his mom already has him transferred to a different school, so yeah, goodbye. Now, Izuku would leave this school, transferring the last 2 months into a more established and renowned school where he would meet this person, this guy who Izuku thought it was weird that the first friend he made was a blonde, but hey, this guy also seemingly understood something that Izuku did, and that is the struggle. No, not the struggle of being quirkless, but a struggle of, issues, identity, power, something that drove this man deeper than anything normal people would have. And, he found his quirk of copying people by a single touch a lot similar to his Sharingan. In fact, he tells him, hey, my quirk is kind of similar. I just have to use a different method. As he would then use the not the Mangekyo, but the regular Sharingan pattern. Look Monoma in the eye. As then he's saying that's how he has to copy someone's quirk. He has to look them in the eye, and then he can do the quirk, which is bullshit. But hey, this is how he's gonna get away with, spamming jutsus and all this other bullshit without hand signs, because we're not gonna waste time with hand signs for our boy Izuku. As he would either saying ninja art or any of that stuff, which his hero outfit is the shinobi getup, and Uraraka, being the reincarnation of Rosalia Senju, also has ninja getup, but for the sake of shits and giggles, she does know medical ninjutsu. So does Izuku, but that's not here. That's not why we're here. This blonde fellow named Monoma, yes, Monoma, would actually get along with Izuku really well. He sees that Izuku trains. So, during one of these training sessions, they're at Dagobah Beach, where they would see this blood man sunken in face as he was having a bit of a coughing fit, and he wiped away a little bit of blood, but overall he was fine. As the two would approach him and ask him what's wrong, the man would look at them and say, "Oh, I didn't realize that young men would be coming here so early. I was just reminiscing. I would come here with my sensei at one point when she was still alive. She would take me here on the beach and train. We would do many hours of sparring, but now the trash has destroyed this." As Monoma and Izuku look at each other and they're saying, "Well, good news, old man. Huh? We're here to clean the beach." "Oh, boys, what is this you speak of?" As they say they're training for UA. You don't say. Now, here's where things get interesting. Although All Might now finds out about Izuku and Monoma, and Izuku seemingly having the better candidate for One for All, Izuku would actually convince All Might not to pick him. He asks why. He's saying he feels his power's already going to eclipse All Might. Why would he want All Might's power to eclipse All Might? That just feels like he latched onto All Might and then, catapulted himself. He doesn't want that. But his friend Monoma, nah. He has, that's the thing. He had trained himself and realizes the value of teamwork and strategies. He is analytical, just like I am. Not as fast as I am, but you give him time. His personality is smoothed out with me around, not gonna lie. But, hear me out. He can already copy someone's quirk, just by touch. And he has the time limit of 5 minutes, and he can hold up to 5 people. That is because he pushed it already that far. Now with your One for All, it would get even stronger. Monoma isn't no slacker either. He trains his body too. You see us working here. Granted, I do have that skeletal armor that makes things a lot easier, as Izuku would scratch his cheek, as he didn't realize Oma would see him practicing his Susanoo. Now, why not? Susanoo's green. Because technically the games aren't canon, so the green Susanoo never existed, so original idea. Ha 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 ha. But inspired by the games. Sorry. I'm fucking around too much. As, like I said, Izuku, he's free. I'm not free, but he passes up One for All for Monoma. Monoma actually is surprised that Izuku would do such a thing. He knows that Izuku wants to be the number one hero, but why would he, not take the number one's power? As Izuku's saying, he knows that one day he's going to meet a woman that's going to motivate him to surpass his current limits already. Until then, he needs a worthy rival. Monoma, you need a gift. As Izuku would shut his eyes in front of both All Might and Monoma, as the sage markings that would appear on Hashirama would appear on Izuku. Izuku would open his eyes with glowing red eyes. Well, no. Well, yes, no. It's weird. The red is reddish purple. Huh. I don't know what he was typing, but I'll read it later. As Izuku, the Sharingan and the Renegon, so yes, Renegade Sharingan, rather than the one on his forehead, is now on both eyes for Madara, if you know what I mean. As they see his eyes, and they're surprised, as Izuku then saying, "This is the ultimate power that he has," as then he quickly falls to his knees, damn near passing out, as he's panting, as he's saying that it requires a fuck ton of concentration. As, his eyes begin to bleed ever so slightly. They're worried, but Izuku's saying, no, 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 it's fine. As his hands glow green as he places them over his eyes, as he admits he pushed it too far. He is going to need lots of help with that. As the only way he could see himself improving or reaching a level close to that is if someone was already striving for something very similar, working towards something that they have that is an unnatural and ungodly boost of power. Monoma, that would be your boost. One for all. And yeah. Now, let us cut to Kid Uraraka. She is 10 years old and she's used her gravity quirk very well. Now, one day when she overused her quirk and she's getting kind of nauseous, something happens. What happens, you may ask? Well, this would be a incident that... Now, I'm changing this because, I'm thinking, why not? Hold up. Oh, it's not on shuffle. That's why I thought it was confusing. Anyway. Hold up. Hey, Juice WRLD, tell me you love me. With Trippy Red. I almost forgot that part. Now, where was I going? No, Izuku pretty much wants Monoma to be one for all. One for all is passed on to Monoma. Monoma is thankful, and boom. Now, Uraraka, she is already exhausted from using her quirk. She's helping her parents at the construction site when this weird musclehead bastard decides to start wrecking shit. Oh no, he actually grabs one of their father's rodarolas and yeets it towards... Oh no, it's a family. She recognizes that two of them are pro heroes, but they're not in costumes, and their young son is there. She can't use her quirk to touch him, but she wants to help. No, please, not like this. As, Izuku would have eaten the fruit, and at that same moment, just out of the sake of bullshit and timing for plot, as in that brief second she feels something surge within her as she yelled, "Wooden dragon!" As beneath her, a wooden dragon would form, and she gets shot towards where Muscular is. Muscular actually doesn't get a chance to hit Water Hose with the Rodarola because he sees Uraraka rushing towards him with the wooden dragon. As he said, "Whoa, that's interesting." As, there was something very different. Uraraka enters her battle phase mode. The same mode that she had when she was fighting against 13 in that final one, like after her training with Gunhead, that battle instinct. I'm gonna have that kick in right now. As she would jump when he would throw the rolla at the wooden dragon, as she then says, "Giant wooden golem," clapping her hands as from the ground it rumbles as a hand sprouts out, grabbing Muscular. Muscular is able to knock it off with his hands, but, it doesn't stop the wooden golem from forming. And compared to Muscular, 20 feet, Muscular's, hold up, 6'7", and, well, Muscular actually feels short for once in his life. He doesn't like it, but the wooden golem would absolutely body this man. It is doing the ura 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 order, rush. That took a lot out of me. I'm not gonna lie. As Muscular would get his shit broken. His muscles, they would be snapping from the force. They could not absorb all of the shock waves. So Uraraka ended up defeating Muscular, making her scouted, which actually saves her parents. What do you mean? She's considered a prodigy with her new quirk awakening, which they're thinking, but she's supposed to have zero gravity. Hey, mutation, second dosage, we don't know. She just took out a major baddie, unintentionally, of course, but still, full ride to UA. Really now? Yes, in fact, you don't even need to take the entrance, the mm, no. What are they? The written exams and then the entrance exams. She gets the recommendations. So yeah, Uraraka gets recommended to UA at the age of 10. And because of the hero agency's understanding that, Uraraka is struggling, they decide why not. They hire Uraraka's father's company to start building more and more, you know, hero agencies. That was what I was thinking of. More hero agencies just around the whole area. Now, this is where things get fun. You see, 4 years later, the agency that where Sernadai would be is actually built from Uraraka's family. Uraraka is going to be going to UA. She is already really good friends with Ryuk and Sernadai. Izuku, on the other hand, is actually really good friends with, All Might. Same with Monoma. But there is one other person who found out about Izuku, and Izuku actually had asked to be trained by him because he felt a connection. This man also had long hair. He remembers his life as he heard Madara had long hair, so I guess past life of him had long hair. He has eyes and he fights mostly with his hands. So yes, it's Aizawa. Izuku and Aizawa actually have a good friendship in this before UA, where Aizawa actually polished up taijutsu with Naruto. Not Naruto, Izuku, my bad. Izuku and Aizawa have that Aizawa Shinzo bond. Well, Monoma has that bond, that Izuku All Might bond with All Might. Bakugo, fuck him. Ain't nobody giving a fuck about him right now. But he's a good character. Well, I mean, he pissed me off too early, and I mean, yeah, he admits he does care for Deku and all in the manga. I've read it. I really do. Caught up with the. I'm caught up with all of the manga. I really am. And oh my god. Ah, so awesome. Anyway, back to the what if as yeah, Izuku he's friends his connections with All Might is not there. His connection is with Aizawa. Monoma is with All Might and he will be in class 1A opposed to Mineta. But just because I wanna I'm gonna make it Momo. Fuck it. Monoma's gonna date Momo. It makes sense name wise. Monoma Momo. Monoma Momo. Monoma Momo. Monoma Momo. Monoma Momo. Moana? Yeah, sure, why not? Anyway, as the UA entrance exams are a lot different. I do like this song. Now, this is where the entrance exams are a little bit different. Since Uraraka wouldn't be crushed under the rubble, Izuku wouldn't meet her. So the 0 pointer would get destroyed by Izuku in a much different way. So let's get into the written exam. Izuku, second highest. Who got the highest? Momo. I'm gonna give Momo biggest brain girl points because I'm gonna need her to have something. But Izuku, at the same time, never really trained mentally like that for studying. His is more like a physical and then discipline. Yawning. Now back to the what if as Naruto. Fuck. Izuku actually has something special. As the fight progresses, with the robots, he would rush forward and without hesitating, he would be spewing fireball, using lightning blade, lightning fang from the sage one, that purple one, that Senpu. I don't remember the storm style Japanese one. Damn. I feel like a fool. It's when he's saying Sage or Storm Style, Lightning Fang, as he would spit it out, and apparently moving at the speed of light, Naruto was able to dodge it still, because hacks, and it cut through the, chakra rod made out of the True Seeking Orb that nullifies Jutsu, because plot. No, I know it's because it also had Senjutsu, and Senjutsu can hurt, but still. I mean, that's, I guess, okay. Now, back to the story. I kind of sorry, but not really sorry. Izuku, he gets a good amount of points. Zero Pointer shows up. Izuku would actually run towards it. Everyone thinks he's crazy. And then he jumps as a green skeletal armor forms around Izuku, slowly turning into the perfect Susanoo. Its arm forms a green giant drill spear as Izuku lunges forward as he's saying Lanza Verde as it starts to spin rapidly as the lance soon engulfs in flames. The green flames hit the 0 pointer, driving it through, piercing it, as then the 0 pointer starts to be engulfed in the green eruption. The flames engulf it as it now too is starting to spin rapidly as the Susanoo flies towards the air as it just pushes off forward, pushing it off its lance as the flaming drill bit goes off and the 0 pointer explodes off the distance as green flames like a giant green firework. Think of Broly green key attacks. Now, the sky turned green, everyone would see the Susanoo just gracefully land. And one person who noticed it would have been Uraraka. Monoma would have known, and he's just like, show off. Now, Momo and Uraraka, besties right away. Because, the wood stuff. And Uraraka did not neglect her gravity, because that's one thing they told her. Yeah, no. I feel like that could be really useful. What? Zero gravity and that weird wood manipulation. Oh, cool. Anyway, as at the end of said entrance exam, Izuku and Monoma would be standing together, laughing, as Uraraka and Momo would overhear them, as Monoma would saying, so you wanted to be a show-off and bust out your Susanoo, huh? Oh, come on, you gotta admit that green light shit was pretty cool, right? Yeah, it kinda was. So Uraraka would, stand out, and she's saying, so, you're the green armored boy? As Izuku would turn around. Their eyes would meet. Izuku's eyes had activated the Sharingan unconsciously after this as the two get closer. They're just a foot away from one another. Their eyes are still interlocked. If you would see their pupils, they're widely dilated. Izuku's Sharingan eye actually doesn't look like a Sharingan eye. It looks like a thin red outline with black dots on the outside with his pupil hella dilated, almost engulfing the whole iris itself. Same with Uraraka. But the two slowly raise hands as they touch. They interlock. Something feels natural about this. And Izuku remembers. So he says it. Rosalia? How do you know my hero name? I never told anyone. Wait, Madara? So it is you. What? No. You mean those weird dreams about me and... she blushes as, she's saying, but you look kinda... She places her hand on Izuku's face as she shuts her eyes, as she focuses. Yeah, that's Madara's chakra, alright. Izuku would do the same as... Then he would also confirm. Yep, that's Rosalia. She's really here. The two would look at each other as Monoma and Momo would look at each other. And they're like, well, I guess we just kind of got, third-partied out of this. Monoma Neto. Oh, Mama Yaruzu. Oh, from the Yaruzus. Mm-hmm. Oh. Let me guess. You were doing recommendations? Yep. Ah, nice. It must be nice having a rich family. Yeah. I wish they would have let me take the entrance exam, though. But my mom was really nervous about me fighting those robots. As, Monoma would be like, oh. Well, I destroyed a good hefty amount, so if you ever want to test your mettle to see how you would have fared against the robots. Well, at least against the robots, in my opinion. I would like to spar with you sometimes. Momo would, smile as they exchange contact information. Izuku and Uraraka are still kind of like holding hands and looking at one another as they would look at each other. Then Monoma and Momo would nod, look at each other, nod, go towards them. They're not really paying attention as Monoma would slap Izuku's head down, causing him to, lean forward. Momo would actually bump Uraraka up, with her hip, like just a him bump, causing her to scoot forward as instant interlock of the lips. Izuku and Uraraka eyes widen and then shut as, though small and accidental, their first kiss between the two felt natural. It felt, I guess you could say, reassuring for the both of them. Something that neither of them really understood, but the moment the lips made contact, this sensation, this familiarity of the other person's body had washed over them. Like, the person who they are currently embracing is someone who they've embraced almost their entire lives, though their first meeting is just now. Izuku knows everything that he would need to do to pleasure Uraraka. He would know what her body likes and dislikes. And Uraraka would know the same thing with Izuku. As, she would pull away from the kiss, and so would Izuku, as she decides she's gonna test something. She doesn't really think that, this could be real. So what she does is she would go to Izuku's cheek, rest her forehead there. Izuku's just like, wait, what the? As, she goes to his neck, and she starts to nibble. Just ever so slightly, just little bite marks around his neck. Izuku, he's just like, okay, this is the first time this is ever happening. Why am I feeling so much pleasure from this? As, she goes to Izuku's ear, she nibbles on his ear too. Izuku's just like, hey, you're about to awaken the other Susanoo. As Uraraka feels something instantly poking and, like, pressing against her thigh, as, she would understand that, oh shit, Izuku was just like, I swear, I mean, I have no good answer. I have no way out of this, as Uraraka would laugh, as she rests her head on Izuku's shoulder, as she's saying, easy there, tiger. We just met. Buy me dinner first. As Izuku smiles, as, Monoma and Momo would look at each other, and they're like, hey, buy us dinner too, since you kinda just ignored us the whole time here. As Izuku looks at Monoma scowling, but Uraraka then, Uraraka then glees with excitement as she's saying, like a double date. Momo would blush right away as she looks at Monoma. Monoma's just like, whoa. Ooh, but you see, as Izuku's just like, right, she can stump you. Just like a ninja of vocabulary combat. As Uraraka would blush as she's just saying, aw, thanks Izuku. As, the two hug. The four now go off, enjoying a double date dinner. As time skip. They would all get their, envelopes saying that they made it and passed. Izuku being the new #1 record holder of UA. Monoma is also really happy that he did make it to Class 1A. Now, does he have one for all full cowling? No. but he does do low percentages in his body just for a little bit. But he's starting to figure it out more and more. Now, here's the fun part. When he copies someone's quirks and then uses One For All, the One For All would still boost that copied quirk. But, here's where things are starting to change little by little. Unbeknownst to Monoma, the more he would touch this said individual, the more a little piece of that copied quirk is stored within One For All. Ivan, what are you doing? Hear me out here. He would, now that he's in a relationship with Momo, have a lot more physical contact with Momo, to the point where, to the surprise of both of them, now that school started, Monoma was able to create things even though he shouldn't have been able to. He understood how Momo's quirk worked, and although he couldn't do as many elaborate and complex, intricate designs as Monoma was not a slacker. He knew that One For All had boosted his quirk, but to the point where it actually copied and sticked. It didn't fade. Not this time. But what was so different? Izuku would help theorize that it was because he kept on touching over and over and over again. Momo would blush as Monoma was just like, I plead the fifth. Sure you do. Okay, Casanova. Uraraka, stick out your hand. Monoma, touch her palm. Yeah, I'm watching. As, touches. He does not actually get access to the wood manipulation or plant manipulation, but he does get zero gravity. He found it weird. And then he found out, even with One For All, he can't copy Izuku's power. Or Uraraka's. So yeah. However, this does mean something special for All Might. Now that he sees that Monoma actually can, in a sense, use One For All to be the pure version of All For One, he thinks that Monoma is truly the child of prophecy in this one. The boy who could save everything, the true next symbol of peace, as Izuku's just like, he might be your successor, but watch me take over the world, my guy. I'm gonna be the strongest one of them all. Now, I'm going to end it here because I have not watched the Anime King video and I want to. So I'm going to watch it. Goodbye.